Hey Thundrbro family, Sam here with your Bro Hack of the Month, brought to you by Swole Dudes Market. So this month I'm going to be talking to you about wrist cuffs. So wrist cuffs are basically cable attachments that go right over your wrists and allow you to do a variety of movements that take grip out of the equation. And these have multiple applications in our program. So if you have access to a cable column in your garage gym, or you're traveling and you find yourself in a club gym or some other gym where benches may be taken or dumbbells and barbells may be limited, you have access to a cable column. I'm going to show you two movements that you can substitute with these cheap wrist cuffs that you can buy on Amazon for anywhere from $20 to $30. So I actually just finished today's chest session, and I actually use these wrist cuffs today as a substitute for the barbell skull crusher movement. So the first movement I'm going to show you is a wrist cuff skull crusher. So the way you set this up is you simply take each wrist cuff, you attach it to the carabiner on each side of the cable column. If you take an upright bench, put it out a little bit so you have some movement from the cables, and then depending on your height, you will adjust the cable column so that way the cable is in direct line with your tricep when you're doing the movement, and you'll see what I'm talking about here in a second. So how do you actually set up for this movement? So you're going to take the right side cable cuff, put it in your right hand, the left side cable cuff, put it in your left hand. You're simply going to walk back out, set one cable on the bench, and then twist to make an X. And as you can see, with the line of the cable behind me, as I extend my arms out, the line of the cable is directly in line with my tricep, which is the muscle group I'm trying to work. So to execute this movement, you're simply going to perform the exact same range of motion as a skull crusher. You're going to take a slow, controlled negative back, trying to keep your upper arm parallel to the ground, slight pause in the stretch position, and come out to the contracted position and perform a movement like this. To get out, simply reverse the way you got in. Take my left hand, go over my head, twist around, and voila. All right, the next move I'm going to show you is a substitute for a standing side lateral raise. We see a lot of standing side lateral raises in our program, and these wrist cuffs offer an additional substitute for dumbbell side lateral raises. Again, if you're finding yourself with dumbbells that may not be available in the gym, or you just want to try something different with the cable column. So, similar setup, you have a wrist cuff on each of the carabiners in the cable column. The setting for these are going to be much lower to the ground in order to provide you the range of motion needed to perform this movement. Now, to perform this, it's going to be the opposite, essentially, of what I showed you for the skull crusher. So I'm going to put the wrist cuff in my right hand here. I'm going to put the wrist cuff in my right hand here. I'm going to twist, put the wrist cuff in my left hand, and then come out here. And as you can see, I have an X standing behind me. And you're simply going to perform the movement the same way you would with dumbbells. You're going to come down to your pockets or your hips. You're going to come up till your wrist is about parallel with your shoulder and come back down again. No need to go any higher than that. And this stimulus will provide you a similar stimulus to the dumbbell side lateral raises. It's a great substitute if you're limited on equipment or just want to try something different. That's your Bro Hack of the Month.